Someone say to bring own food. I brought my own food.
Hey, Chan, Kok Fai, how are you?
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Long time no see, man.
I think we can start now. So, hello. Thank you all for joining tonight's session on Journey with E-Fintech School. We have our alumni from our previous cohorts and Jasmine, who is one of our board members for E-Fintech School, and she will be the moderator of the night. So, without further ado, over to you, Jasmine.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Really lovely to see all of you. And for those who are fasting, selamat berbuka puasa. And for the rest of us, we are looking forward to the time of breakfast when things get easier with COVID. Anyway, I am here and I have the greatest pleasure to introduce to you today's panel and share their journey in terms of the E-Fintech School, partly how they came to know, and more importantly, what came out of it. So I will pass this time along to all my panelists for each of them to introduce themselves, starting with Mei.
Hi everyone, Mei here. I'm from the second cohort last November, which is held last November. I started my career in risk consulting and currently works at a regional office in an insurance company based in Singapore, driving risk management initiatives across the Southeast Asia region.
Ida?
Hi everyone, my name is Ida. I'm based in Adelaide in Australia, and I am an entrepreneur. I run two companies. Both of them are blockchain based. And I am very delighted to be here today and have a chat with you guys. And let's make it as fun and as interactive as possible. And to my interns, you're free to fire as many questions to me as possible.
Yuanzu?
Hello, everyone. I'm Yuanzu. I'm a practicing lawyer from Penang. Okay, I'm great to see everybody here. I'm from the first cohort. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is John Pastner, the Chief Operating Officer of GHL Systems Philippines, a subsidiary of GHL Malaysia. I'm also from the second cohort. The part and parcel of my responsibility is, since we're a fintech company, is to make sure that, what I learned during the second cohort will be applied, which I will tell you all about it later. Thank you.
Thank you. Adila.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Adila. I'm a strategy professional. Currently, I'm with Principal Financial Group, overseeing their digital strategy for Malaysia, Indonesia, Hong Kong, and Thailand. Prior to this, I was with an Alibaba-owned company. Very happy to meet everyone here and share about our experience with E-Fintech. Thank you.
Great. Habib?
Hi everyone, this is Habib. I'm based in Singapore. I'm from banking industry. Basically, I'm working here cross-border payment. So my vision is to how to make more simple and more cheaper and more real time to make the payment system in Southeast Asia. Thank you.
Thank you. And last but not least, Valerie.
Hi everyone, my name is Valerie. I'm based in Singapore. I'm a digital marketer, so I run digital marketing campaigns across all multi-channels from O to O, so to drive the business that I manage. So I have a very varied industry experience. I come from retail consumer, as well as the last one is insurance services. I look forward to having an engaging session with everyone today.
So as you can see, it's a very diverse panel, and like our E-Fintech School, it's very diverse participant background. And one of the things that is fantastic during E-Fintech School is that you get to learn from each other. Yes, you'll be putting your hand up.
Yes, correct.
Last but not least, you, right?
I thought I was the last one and it was forgotten. Oh no, I'm so sad. But anyway, Poon here, previously in the corporate world, now for 20 over years, now basically I'm on my own for almost 2 years, involved in fintech itself. We'll share with you a bit more later with regards to things that I do.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you can share now. We're open to share now. And since you were the last to close,
The first.
to the first to start. Take it away.
All right. Basically, I was in the corporate world for 20 over years, in production, manufacturing, supply chain, procurement, strategic procurement at the country level in Malaysia, regional within ASEAN, and also global to the extent. I started off my career in Malaysia, then moved to Singapore, and then global in Singapore, and then back to Malaysia itself. All the while in corporate itself, all right. And like I said, my journey started in the fintech arena, the time when that was in 2018, right? In September 2018, this was when I was looking and asking, what is there more that I can do in the corporate world itself? And that was where I said, okay, I got an opportunity to take a break from corporate life and to do a bit of soul searching. And that was where, coincidentally, I came across this topic of fintech. All right. To a lot of people, I mean, at that point in time, in 2018, fintech was something that is brewing, still new. And I said, okay, since I've gone through a bit of my industry experience from automotive, consumer electronics, industrial product, those were very traditional and corporate type of activities or so-called work related. But fintech itself was something that was intriguing. So 2018 itself, in September, I got to know of fintech in one of these events, which was the Singapore FinTech Festival, right? And one thing that got me interested was the authentication biometric space, because at that time people were talking about digital banks, etc. And then how can they basically onboard customers, the eKYC part of things. So that got me interested in fintech, and this is where I saw a lot of I saw some opportunities in terms of where the Malaysian the banks, the banking scenes in Malaysia, where they were trying to move into, they're trying to improve and things like that. And this is where I saw opportunities in this area. So the biometric solutions, the biometric authentication was the thing that started me in this fintech journey. And from there on, a lot of other things came about. All right. So what happened was, just hold on, sorry. There's something wrong. Yeah. An alarm was set up. So what happened was I was moving along back and forth and things like that, trying to do things in this authentication, and then in 2020, somewhere in October, I got a strange email coming from Fort Ninja. And I think, where is this Fort Ninja? Who is this Fort Ninja? And things like that. It was coming from Jenna, and I was invited to so-called participate in this course. So initially I thought it was a scam, as usual, right? Because I've been scammed a few times as well. So I thought it was a scam. Okay, but anyway, long story short, I took a leap of faith. I went into enroll in this course, and what happened was it took me to a next level of fintech to that extent. Throughout my so-called 2 years in fintech, my focus was in authentication, biometric solutions, workflow automations. But the course itself, I mean, after joining or during the process, I guess the key thing was it opens a lot of things to me in terms of fintech. Fintech is not only in the area of this security side of things, but it's a lot of other aspects that a lot of us would never think of until I say I got to interact with the community and the network.
Great. So the E-Fintech School opened your eyes to a whole new world of fintech now.
Correct, with regards to compliance, regard to the insurance side of things, InsurTech, in terms of blockchain, how we can utilize all this tech in the physical, in the actual world itself.
Fantastic. Yanzu, you are from our first cohort. How did you come into the E-Fintech School, and how has it impacted your thinking towards fintech? You're on mute, by the way. Thanks, Poon. We're coming back to you, don't worry.
Sure.
Yes, yeah, you know, I'm coming from a very boring legal profession. Okay. So that's why again my journey started from the time I stumbled upon a mysterious email. I've forgotten whether it's through email or through LinkedIn. I've forgotten already. But again, I think that really attracted me, you know, and curiosity, you know, driven by curiosity, then I jump into it lah. And I never regret. Frankly, I never regret it, and I think it opened up my eyes, broadened my view on the whole fintech. I think it's very exciting area to explore. Okay, and my first encounter on fintech actually started from new security commission. They have that security commission SC, right? Yeah.
Yes, SC by SC.
Yeah, SC by SC, yes. I think I attended in 2019, something like that. Okay. Then from there, I have some blur idea of it. Then very happy that because of this E-Fintech School, really I've know more about fintech, and I think it's really quite experienced and broaden out our whole view about it. I think I encourage everyone to really explore it and jump into it. I think you won't regret.
Yeah. So Enzo, I will come back to you with regards to how has the information that you've gleaned from the E-Fintech School helped you? I don't need you to answer it right now. I want you to
okay, sure.
it and share that story. In the meantime, John, you are in a fintech environment.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
DHL is considered one of the earlier fintech, so to speak, technology-driven financial services. Tell me, what brought you to the school, and how has that changed certain things?
Well, it's changed a lot, Jasmine, to be honest with you. With GHL in the Philippines, we are not as sophisticated as, let's say, our headquarters in Malaysia when it comes to the systems and all that. There are similarities, but we still need to catch up. But after I joined the E-Fintech School, the second cohort, was really excited to, bring about change to our premise, to our location. So talk to the CEO. Since I manage operations, which is composed of, general operations plus your contact centers and all of that. So automation was the first thing top of mind that, I tried to inform the CEO that this is something that we need to do. So right now, because of that experience and exposure I had in E-Fintech School, we're currently in the midst of implementing something that will really help our merchants with JHL. Because in operations, what we do is we supply the terminals, the credit card terminals, to different types of merchants. But it's an end-to-end process. So we also provide a service and all that. So now if you're a merchant, similar to, let's say, a Shopee, if you order something, you can keep track of your order, correct? But with GHL, it's still very manual. So they need to call, they need to email. So right now we're trying to integrate a system wherein these merchants can actually track the request that they made. Let's say they ordered a specific type of terminal. When is it arriving? How how much is the cost, what are the fees involved in all that. Let's say they ask for a service that they need it repaired, so they can actually track the name of the engineer that will visit their store. They can track the date, the time, and all that. So this is something that is in the works right now for us at JHL. So there you go.
That would be a fantastic feature, I think, and
Yep.
I think a lot of merchants would enjoy that.
Definitely,
So
agree.
I like to hear a little bit from Habib.
Yes.
Share,
Yes.
yeah.
Initially, I'm based in Singapore. You know everyone that Singapore, there is a FinTech festival. So at that time, last couple of years, the FinTech is a buzzword for me actually, that everybody is like to know about more about the FinTech. So basically, that's why I'm interested to join the E-Fintech School. And how do I know that one of the instructor from the first cohort, I actually personally follow him, and from the LinkedIn, I found out the E-Fintech School. After that, I emailed to Jana, and Jana asked to me to join there. But before that, Jana told me that this FinTech School is diversified from different background, not from the IT or the financial sector. Or this FinTech School is basically diversified from different countries also, not only Malaysia, Asia Pacific. So afterward, so many questions go through with Jana, and she asked me a lot of questions and how I can implement in life. Then maybe happy that I the second cohort. So my vision is that you know, the FinTech is very broad area, and I'm working right now is the payment solution. So I'm trying to see that how this solution can integrate in the payment to other area also. So I think I also see the another interview that from the instructor. I have seen that in FinTech school joining from different industry, and why were they working there, and they're sharing their knowledge, and they're sharing their development, what they are doing in there. So I think it's more on that FinTech school, not from book or anything. It's sharing the experience, how they are working and how they develop the product in their real life for the customer actually. That's why I'm interested in that I learn something from the industry people who are actually working in the for the customer. That's why. What do you this mean?
Fantastic. So Jenna posted a question, and like the panel, feel free to address this question when you are sharing a little bit about your story. So I'd like to hear from me with regards to how you came into the school, and also why you came into the school, and then is FinTech scary or confusing to jump in from a non-tech or non-finance perspective?
Yeah, I guess I'm the best to answer the question because I am non-tech and as well as non-finance. Actually most of my professional experience come from more consulting. I only joined the insurance industry for 2 years, I think coming to 2 years. And I'm actually in the regional office, so a little bit further away from the operations of the things as well. So definitely it can be a bit scary to jump in. So, and that also answered the questions why when one of my friend posted on Facebook. So mine is not through email because my existing network, it's very sparse in terms of the FinTech. But I do have a friend who joined the first cohort. She was posting about her experience in from the first cohort of her learning journey. And I reached out to her and asked, oh, so is InsurTech part of this curriculum? And she was like, yeah, it is. And I guess what really perks up my interest is that it's free. So we only require to pay like a very small sum of deposit. So I was like, no brainer, let's jump in. Jump into it. I think I didn't think too much about it. Once I received the curriculum, I guess that's where I get starting to be a little bit more worried. It's a 1 month of very intensive course. I remember looking through the curriculum going like, first week, FinTech, then there is some description about it. Second week, Tech Fin. some description about it. Then I was like, what's the difference between fintech and techfin? That gives a very good illustration of where my starting level really is at. But I think when I got to the 3rd and the 4th week of the course, it got a little bit better because ultimately my experience is in risk management. 3rd week of the course is more on compliance, conduct risk, reg tech. So something that I'm like, okay, I can follow the conversation a little bit. 4th week is on entrepreneurship journey. I'm like, it's okay, should be able to go through it. And thus begins, and here I am today, I guess. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. And yay, one social media win.
Yeah, and it does get less scarier. At least I can follow the conversation a little bit right now with the community as well.
Fantastic. And we're so glad to hear that. I'd like to hear from Adila. You are from Fin, but not necessarily tech. So do share.
Right. So very similar to Mei, I found out first about Fort Ninja from social media. In my case, it was LinkedIn. One of my ex-colleagues were part of the first cohort, and she had a great experience with Fort Ninja. So I thought, I'm just going to go in and learn and see what happens. My background prior to finance, I was in Lazada. So one of Southeast Asia's leading e-commerce. And one thing that always makes me wonder is that, I feel that the reason why e-commerce is booming in this part of the world is because they make it so easy to just shop. And, if we can make it as easy as well for a lot of people to save, to invest, and we could only do that using fintech. So as a strategy professional in my current company right now, I get best of both worlds. I feel from my experience in e-commerce and from the knowledge and the network that E-Fintech has given me.
Fantastic. Thank you. I would like to hear from Valerie next.
Sure. I share a bit about my background in terms of how I get into school, because I saw that one of the past teachers was from SCB, Standard Charter Ventures, and I know her. So that gave me confidence of applying for the school. And I also went for the talk. They had a talk earlier with moderator. I think you also were on it. And then you were sharing the stories and all that. So it sounded very fun, and then it's very enjoying, so on. And also that you all had this very giving, because it's almost like free. You just give $100 as a down payment, but you get back when you pass the thing, the course. So it was a very noble idea of it, and I find it like they wanted to grow the community in fintech. And then I know about fintech for a few years in Singapore because it's very strong since the Singapore Fintech Festival started a few years. In fact, I went for the one in Expo where we walk miles and miles in it, and then last year we pivoted to online. So there was so much diversity, so much things to know and learn. And even if I'm from the insurance industry, I know about compliance and all that, but still my financial literacy was not that great until I joined the course and went through it. It's what made you talk about all the 4 different pillars and all that. So understanding it. And also I was like happy that there's some cohorts here in Singapore, based in Singapore, that helped me to beat up my speed in terms of compliance, AML and all that. So those are all a lot of jargon and buzzwords that I couldn't even understand. So as a marketer, I also have to know about this, because if I want to go into fintech and market about all this, I really need to brush up my knowledge and understand all that, and then go on to maybe crypto and other kind of other instruments and all that, because how diverse the industry has gone into. And I also like to network, so that built that community, which is actually quite small already actually in Singapore, but I want to build beyond regional. So I also started a community here in Singapore of those people who have been in cohorts, and I want to continue on it, so that there's connection, sharing of ideas, and also job opportunities, what we can learn also, whether in Singapore or part of the region also.
Fantastic. Yes, our community builders. Actually, what many people don't fully grasp is a lot of the participants, like yourself, Valerie, move on to become huge community builders and champions. And because Fort Ninja doesn't charge and we don't profit from all this that we do, the community is so organic and the exchange is so exciting.
Hey,
Quite fantastic. Last but not least, Ida, share your exciting journey in terms of how you came to be into the school, and then what have the school given you to some extent?
Okay. I can give the politically correct answer, and I could also tell the true story behind it.
Just go for the truth. Politically correct answers are boring.
Okay. The true story about it is because of this woman here. Yes, Jasmine. Okay.
That story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, the truth is, I have always been in, well, not really. I've been in the blockchain space for about 14 months. And how I ended up with it is it just fell on my lap. They needed more women in the space. And the foundation that was supporting my first startup said that if you don't have a woman backing and running it, we're not going to back you. So everyone looked around and there's only one female in the room, and that was me. And they say, okay, Ida, lead the company. That's how I ended up here. So that's how I ended up in the blockchain space. It's great. And I've been there, and I know Jenna very well. She's a personal friend. And having been in the blockchain space and the crypto space and the DeFi space as well, I wasn't sure that I was right for the FinTech school, because it was, it touches the beginning stages. It's supposed to do an introduction. And I said to myself, I know a lot, so may not be right. So I asked Jenna, and she says, come on, it would be fun. So I joined up, okay? And it was fun. I met a lot of people. What I found really fantastic was that in our cohort, there were two of us who are intrinsically and thoroughly embedded into the blockchain space, amongst everyone who is either not tech, non-tech, non-fintech, or in fintech, or mostly in traditional financing. And I think many of them are in regulatory and compliance. I find it interesting is because my interaction with the FinTech school opens one thing, because these guys get to see my world. They get to interact with me. They get to see what, as an entrepreneur who's trying to push, and especially a female entrepreneur is trying to push the blockchain further, what we face. But more importantly is that I got to see their world, because before that, it's always been, we're always fighting, okay? We're always fighting, all right? But now through all these things, I started to engage with them, and we sort of have this synergy. I wish, and I think we are, in many ways, learning to understand from each other through our collaboration, through our this community that is formed. And I'm glad to see that even one of my, in the cohort, one of the diehard anti-Bitcoin person has recently bought himself some Bitcoin. So I think one up for me. That's good. That's it for me.
Yeah, I know you're such a gangster. Stop fighting, okay? Just go with the flow.
I could have gone for the real stuff, okay? But yeah. I will not annoy you.
No, you're never annoying. But I would like to talk a little bit about, I think, an interesting topic in terms of you all come from various backgrounds and you all come from various expertise. And the way the E-Fintech school is structured is everybody comes from, the industry experts all come from their own respective pillars. What was the most gleaning thing for you in terms of what you got out of the FinTech school? And then after we answer that question, I would like for all of you to think, what was the biggest impact that the E-Fintech school had on you, your life, and your career? So these three things that I would like to hear. We'll start with, shall we start with Valerie? Because I know you have a very interesting story.
Okay, so it's about what did I glean out from this school, right?
During the course, yeah, and then impacted.
Yes, it was the first time I had a course completely online for 1 month. It was very intensive, I would say. And but I enjoy it because I love to learn. And also it's also the variety, because there's people based in Singapore, Malaysia, and other countries. So that diversity was something I'm also new to, because most of the time I'm based in Singapore, so it's mostly I'm mingling and studying with Singaporeans. But the diversity was there, and not just diversity in countries, but diversity in terms of their background that I can learn from different people. And also when I joined, it was like you also have to go into groups, and these are people I don't know, and then just go into a group. And I went to a group where I'm the only one from Singapore, then the rest of them are actually from Malaysia. And it was a bit tough because actually I'm Malaysian, but I'm based in Singapore. So I left the country for a long time. So my knowledge of the country and also the financial world was very different, and everybody was more up speed in terms of that. So I get to learn a lot from them, and some very experienced people in my group too. So it's based on luck also. But then based on luck also, I met different people, some with hackathon backgrounds and all that, and I learned from them, per se. And I enjoy it also. Not just the hackathon, but we also have this group debate that we had about compliance, and that really changed my mind about compliance, because I deal in insurance, and the compliance was one of the hardest people to deal with, even in my own company per se. But the lecturer Una really changed my mindset on the compliance and how we need to work with different people in the different structure of finance per se. So that really gave me a very good different perspective. But I have to struggle a lot, because even I know some of the jargons and all that, I couldn't really understand, because I do not get the whole ecosystem in my mind. But slowly I get the whole ecosystem in my mind. Of course, then I asked some of my cohorts and all that. And then Robin here created a WhatsApp group for the cohort. And then there was so much chatter and all that. And then we learned from the things that we shared among each other, experiences and knowledge for that. So I think that adds to the richness. And I think our cohort, the second one, was much more gung-ho and much more talkative. And that's why we share a lot with each other, per se. Even on top, we also social, that we meet on Zoom and all that to socialize and all that. And I think it's because also the pandemic kind of brought the people closer, to say, like different countries have different things, but you brought people to closer and all that. So I always believe that building a community and networking with other people is very important, because you can't stand in silo and you can't learn in silo, but you need other people, say. And then the Asia region is a very growing, diverse region. You can learn from each other. Singapore, of course, is building and growing the fintech here world, and especially they are building more women to be in the fintech world. So that's a very exciting part in all that. And see some of these ladies here who are also gung-ho in the fintech world already. So I hope that will give some ladies here to pursue it. And don't be deterred if you do not come from the background, as long as you're open-minded and have that desire to learn and grow and learn from your cohort. There's no stupid question. I also ask silly questions during my time of that also, but I get over it because the school is open. Say, and also network with not just the cohort but the teachers also. And then we have in Singapore, so I welcome those who go and come in third cohort to come and join the community and build the community together.
And what was the impact on your life after school?
Oh, the impact on my life after school, I think I get more friends from it, and I learn a lot more about all this different jargon, crypto and all that, because we also had some classes amongst us also, so I learned per se for that. So I'm not scared of crypto and things like that. So yeah, and I mean, I can understand the whole finance world much more better compared to last time, say.
Yeah. Fantastic. Poon. Okay, you can stop biting your tongue now.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh, let's say it was unless everyone was saying it's an intense journey. Seriously, I mean, I was having. That's why I got the computer and the phone switched on, just in case if one dies, the other one is still on. So because you don't want to miss anything. And I was having dinner at the same time, so it was juggling around in terms of the classes, and but it was worth every single minute. I mean, the amount of information, the amount of support, amount of I would say interactions, within, not only with the moderators, not only with the speakers, but also within ourselves, all right, was a different level. I mean, this is the first time I went on, like what Valerie was saying, first time for me also on Zoom, all right, to do 1 full month, and it was day in, day out. We were almost eating fintech almost every day, including Saturday and sometimes Sunday, because of our project, you know, our pitch and things like that. So it was a very intense 1 month. At the same time, the thing that I got out from there was, I would say, in terms of, for me, the biggest thing was the community, the people, who, whatever that I got exposed of in the fintech world, I know who I can go and approach. And because of that community, and it is until now is very strong. We are having tomorrow we're gonna have steamed fish head in one of the in Cheras. No, sorry, in Ampang. So at 12. So for those who are going to join, who are interested, can always PM me. 12 o'clock in Ampang. All right, steamed fish head, one of the best steamed fish head in KL. So besides food, like I said, the community itself is very supportive, and me coming from virtually, I would say zero before 2018 about fintech, and even when I was involved in so-called fintech from 2018 to 2020, it was still, to me, I was still groping in the dark until I came across this community. All right, or basically I was scammed into the community, and now scammed into the community for life, because that's where this is what I call family. So that itself is one takeaway that I guess a lot of people, if you join, you will never regret every single moment. I was like, it was intense, 7 to 9 every night for continuously 1 month. All right, and then Saturday, Sundays, your weekends was gone, but it was great. And we got to know, like I said, because of that intensity, we got to know a lot of, the people, the community itself, and we are close to a certain extent. Just share with you a bit. After towards the end of last year, in the beginning of this year, I got back into the corporate world, and for a certain period of time, because of the schedule, etc., I was not in touch with what I was doing in the fintech side. And when my assignment finished, my stint finished, I came back, and I came out and came back on my own again. There was a sense of alive again with the fintech kind of fire inside me. And I would say that in a way, it gave me a sense of purpose, that fintech is something that I will continually hold on to. And after that, and then back to the other question you're saying in terms of after the school itself, what changed my life, or what? Basically, one of the initiatives that I was working on is more on the sustainability type of initiative, all right, ESG type of activities that me and a few of my teammates are setting it up. So that is something that some of us are passionate about, and we are going to move forward on this startup. I'll be sending some inquiries to SC and Bank Negara in terms of what are the rules and what are the things that we need to comply to in order to set up this ESG investment platform.
Oh, you need a lawyer? That's Yunzu.
Yes, that's why I say the community itself. Who else can you trust besides the people that you interact with? And you have a diverse of people from all background, from compliance, lawyers, people who are in the venture funds, people who are into blockchain, everyone. You have the whole ecosystem to start something in fintech at the FinTech School.
Definitely. So apart from your waistline growing with all that,
By the way, we are going to join one of our cohort members for the walk in the park and a walk in the forest and stuff like that. Okay, we also besides food, we also have other healthy activities.
Yes, the attempt at healthy activities. I've seen how those healthy activities end with a lot more food.
Balance. It's about balance. You know, you burn calorie, you have to put back again.
I see. When you say so. So, no roasting. I'd like to hear from Habib. Habib, how has the E-Fintech School affected you during class in terms of instructors that was brought on, and has it helped, or what was the impact of it after the classes have ended, and how do you feel about having joined?
Okay. It is good experience for me, and it's fantastic experience. Actually, you see that I already mentioned that this E-Fintech School is from different background and different kind of experience there. So I see like that way is learning by sharing, at the same time also fun. So from the instructor perspective and who is the participant also, they are sharing their views and we learn from each other. I want to see that way. And also same time we have a lot of fun, you know. You see right now the fun. Sometimes it happens that our class is meant for 1.5 hours, sometimes 2 hours. And Jenna sometimes say that, hey, your time is up, you stop now. But it's going on. Everybody enjoying actually. So sometimes the instructor also give us their view, and we also give our views, and what we are facing in the developing our product, our clients, and sometimes the new idea come up and new topics. Everybody learning things from the E-Fintech School. I also enjoyed the last cohort, November, December last year. And the second thing is that the pitch also, I learned many things from there. We have one debate for the compliance matter, and I have learned many things from that, and from my group also, the pitch we have presented. So the teamwork also, we have seen that how we build something, some new ideas, and we also seen the pitch. During the pitch, we also met our mentors. They help everybody. I think that this is the new community. I have seen like that way that everybody is helping everybody. So whoever have the gap of knowledge, so everybody helping her, that this is the things you have to do, these things, and you can do that way. So every direction, what background you are, no problem. So you have some gap knowledge of gap. Everybody is helping you to fill up that gap. Actually, this is the thing. I don't find this kind of E-Fintech school or school any kind of that everybody is helping everywhere that who is the participant in the group. And after that, right now, how affect me in my life, I can say that what I have learning, and I have the now new community. Still, I am learning. You know, we have one group in Malaysia and one group in Singapore. So everybody sharing their views still now. What they are doing right now, what is the latest development in their area. So everybody sharing. Till now we share each other and learning. Every day we learn, you know, not only food, many other things, and many other things. I think it will help us to move forward, and it will whenever we maybe I don't know, maybe I'm not thinking, I'm not thinking that I will start a new business, but over there I see so many entrepreneurs. Now I'm thinking, okay, I can start new things, the new idea I can develop. So I think it will help us to move forward in different way.
Fantastic. So I'm so glad to hear that the school has given you a new level of courage to consider entrepreneurship. And that was one of the intention of the last week, where we invite entrepreneurs onto the class to share their personal journey, to share that despite all that they have gone through, they have arrived, and that it is possible. I'm glad. I'm so glad. And yeah, Jenna likes to kick us out of class all the time, doesn't she? Fantastic. Adila.
Right. So I think everybody has gotten my points, like took the words really out of my mouth. That convergence of ideas, having so many people share during classes. And I think E-Fintech School is really one of the best experiences that free money can buy. Because you don't pay for the class, you get to see and meet and make friends with all these amazing people in the industry who maybe have the same goals with you and would work towards it together with you. um, and another thing that I really really love is how every instructor bring with them real life experience. They have done it themselves. It's not just based on theory. So how it has changed my life. I think Poon mentioned that ESG investment thing that we are, tinkering with right now. So that's one of the, most interesting things I would say that I walked away with.
Fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that. Obviously, Poon and you will have to share a little bit more about the startup that was born out of this class. Yunzu, when we go to Penang, right, we have to look you up. You have to draw up a map of the food to eat. And then we're going to go on that tour.
No problem. You're most welcome.
but beyond that,
yeah.
share your first cohort experience and how has that been different? Well, I can tell the difference, but how has that been so far for you?
Okay, I think we can see that from three aspects. Okay, first, I think personally, I no longer look that stupid. Okay, whenever my friends, my clients, after some glitch, the cryptocurrency, okay, blockchain, fintech, mobile, e-wallet, something like that. I think it saved me from that sort of embarrassment. Okay, of course, I don't claim that I know now, but at least some basic I know. Okay, that's first part. I think second aspect, of course, as a legal practitioner, I think the law keep on evolving. Okay, just for example, like I'm practicing intellectual property. You see, it's from normal traditional intellectual property has evolved into cyber law, now digital law, and I believe that, it's already happening now that fintech, okay, insurtech, or for that matter, it has become part of the important component of digital law. Okay, I think it's natural progression and it's good for us like lawyers. We have that sort of background knowledge of it. Okay, it's good. Then third thing, which I think is the most important part, is that whenever accept a new project, new brief of new case, I think instead of burying my head in the books or busy Googling, okay, now I think I can fear no more. I can tap on the E-Fintech network. Okay, I think E-Fintech network is fantastic in the sense that it creates a reservoir of knowledge, a talent pools that we can always rely on. Okay, and I think this is the most valuable part of E-Fintech School. Okay.
Fantastic. Community plays a huge role, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Yunzu. We're coming to Penang. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
Thanks. I'd like to hear from you. Yeah.
So I guess it's also echoing what everybody has said. One of the greatest things for myself when I glean from the course, it's really how it's structured. Because one of the key requirements for us to get back our 100 deposits so that it's free, it's to make sure we pass the graduation pitch. I mean, the school also make it easy for you. Of course, they are really I think in hindsight, the money putting in there, it does give you a little bit of accountability and credibility, but it's not like they are making it difficult for you to get back the deposit. It's not something like that, because so long you participate in the pitch, you would be able to get back. But that in itself, you partnering with the people from the cohort to come up with identifying a problem, coming up, proposing with a solution, pitching it to the judges who are actually real life venture capitalists themselves, that in itself gives a very good taste about the whole process, how it's like, especially if you have ideas. Okay, everybody has a lot of ideas, I guess, but going through that whole entire process to pitch it really to the judges, I think that it's a very good practice ground. It's also how the school is structured that I feel like it's better than the traditional schools that I've attended. And that's definitely one of the greatest things that I get. And John is my teammate. He's here, one of the best team. Yeah. And how it impacted me, I guess definitely the community. I think never underestimate the influence of the community. I'm glad I at least joined the WhatsApp group from Robin. I guess usually I participate in a lot of training outside other than this as well. Usually you just kind of leave after the training on its own. You get inspired during the training itself. Maybe after three to 5 months, you get settled in back to your old life. Oh yeah, you forgot about things in the training. But I guess as we are still in the community, very active community, there's food, there's lifestyle, but of course there's always discussion about fintech. I think that's how it helps to build momentum, even though you are probably tired. You have other people that you always people like Ida who's like, I have this idea, we should do something. Yeah, and there's always sharing that's ongoing. I think it's a great community to be in.
Fantastic. It is. It's a fun community and it's full of fun ideas. And then we discuss very sensitive things. And then people run away sulking, don't talk for a few days, and then they come back with a vengeance, like Ida. You're next, Ida.
Okay. What's the question again?
Sheila, you have distracted this. The question is, how have you found the classes? And throughout the class, how has it been for you? And then the impact after class. You know, the whole thing's been done after the intense 1 month of in your face in a day-to-day basis, and then on all these things, what happens?
Okay. How do I find a class? The class is an eye-opener to me. I walked in thinking that I know this space very well, which is the blockchain, the crypto, and the DeFi. But the fintech is actually larger than just this space. It's also talking about finance, but using technology to deploy finance most effectively. So not necessarily through the blockchain, but definitely using technology. So that became an eye-opener for me. So I learned about payments and settlements and cross-border and things like that, which is completely new to me. I remember I sat down in a class and with the instructor Yang, and every word she said, I had to Google and find out what on earth is she saying? What on earth is she saying? I mean, and as I said, at this is actually larger than just a school that you come together and you spend 1 month together and just have classes and interactions and all that. This is much bigger than that because it did not end there. As you can see through our chat, we talk to each other like we grew up together. And that's the uniqueness about this school. It's about how through that experience it brought us together as a community, because all of us shared one thing in common, is that we were willing to learn, and we're willing to be taught and to be corrected as well, and we're willing to come in with a different mindset and to actually be allowed to be persuaded. So I'm going to put one of the participants on the spot because he has been messaging me privately. Robert, are you there? Robert, are you there?
See, this is what happens. We're doing a panel and then Ida calls somebody else who's not.
Oh yes, I will do that. Robert, are you there?
She talks about poon hogging time.
Can someone unmute Robert? Robert, are you there?
Robert can unmute himself. That's not an issue. It's
Oh,
just
come on, Robert, unmute yourself.
whether Robert
Williams.
is there or not.
Finally, Ida has arrived.
Well,
no.
all right, okay. I'm not going to put you on the spot, Robert. Okay. I will put a challenge to you, Robert. Okay. Is that I've met a couple of regulators who started with the FinTech school pretty fixed in their thinking, and they finished the FinTech school a little bit different. Different in terms of embracing because of the new innovations that is coming in, which is moving faster than regulations. And we challenge them to adopt what is known as regulatory risk approach. And that is the challenge I'm going to throw to you, okay, Robert, to join the cohort, the next cohort, because I'm going to be one of the ambassadors, and I will take it as a personal challenge to try and change your mindset. I'm out.
Okay, the gauntlet has been thrown, Robert, so it's up to you to answer. We'll find out in cohort number 3, and then keep this space because then we'll update you if there was a win. Last but not least, to speak on this particular question is John. Tell us.
Right. Well, I would echo everyone, what everyone said, Jasmine. It was a great combination of, intense training and intense learning as well. All the speakers, they knew what they were talking about. Overall, I really had an awesome experience, to be honest with you. But aside from, the usual 79 schedule that we had, what I really enjoyed was the behind the scenes activities when we were practicing. Let's say when I was with Ida in the first group, when we had to do that, debate thing. So wow, this great experience. I was even chosen as one of the leaders of the leader of the team. So great experience for me. And Adela was there with us as well. And the Fin Crew group with me, while we were meeting, we were doing dry runs almost every day, I think. We were so nervous because we thought we wouldn't do well. We kept on practicing and practicing. So I guess it's the connection. I was the only Filipino. I was the only one from the Philippines in the second cohort, if I'm not mistaken. So, but I was welcomed with open arms. That really was something that I would recommend this E-Fintech school to everyone. It was intense 1 month training, but really worth it, as Poon said. Echo what Poon said. In terms of what after that, so aside from what I mentioned earlier about the automation thing that we're doing at JHL, I was also able to share some of the insights I learned during the second cohort to my colleagues in JHL Philippines, particularly our risk manager. I was able to share some insights pertaining to fraud awareness, to KYC, eKYC, and risk as a whole. I also had the chance to meet with the head of EJHL, which is the e-commerce arm of JHL. I was also able to share some of the best practices that we had during the school, the 1 month second cohort. From a personal perspective, I was also able to recently start my own small business, online business. I don't want to divulge any specifics at this time. I just started, so it's very small. So hopefully it's going to gain track one of these days. So, but to all the participants, I'll encourage everyone to join. It's really an amazing experience. You won't regret it.
So John, one of the first thing that you must do once the e-commerce thing goes live is give us all the URL, then we'll go shopping.
Definitely, we'll do that.
So it is really heartening to hear that, businesses have come out, people have gotten new courage because now they receive new confidence. And one of the things that I will share, and which is one of the reasons why we decided that we won't take money but we wanted commitment. And that's why we made everybody put in an amount of money. And the only way you can take this money back, so to speak, is you complete the whole course satisfactory. I mean, we don't expect 100% attendance, but whatever margin, if you have a good reason why you are unable to attend, we generally accept, and refunds are generally given, and we've given most of the refunds back. So what I want to hear next is, you know, you talk about the pictures, but nobody says anything about whether it was, or just something that you do to pass, or it is something that has made a real impact on your life. I would like to hear from each of you with regards to how the pictures has made an impact on you. Perfectly happy to receive that as an answer too. Shall we start with Adila? Since there was a little startup that you were talking about.
Sure. So the pitch that we had for the graduation was something about ESG investment. Something that I've seen all around the world, and we thought, it's something we could bring into Malaysia as well. Really, right now, the front runner for that idea would be Poon. Gloria, who you would see in chat, is also, like one of the biggest proponent for this idea. Again, the diversity of ideas coming from different background. Gloria had experience in charity fundraising, and it's something that we take into account as well. So was it something that we just did to pass? No, I really did believe in the idea. I still do believe in it. Poon is trying to make it a reality. Gloria, all of our team are actually working together. So it has the potential of changing your life. Same like John, it's still very early stage. We don't know yet where it's going, but it's something that we are all very passionate about and we are serious about.
Correct. And it is something not only for not the commercial side, but also in terms of what Fort Ninja has taught us. It's about paying it forward, giving it back to the community, and something that I guess a lot of us feel strongly about. And this is something that I guess that's also the reason why, when Jenna asked us, Poon, are you, Jenna and Sirin asked, are you okay if you want to become an ambassador or whatever, or just try to so-called grow the community? Is it without a second thought? No worries. That's why in terms of when I said earlier, got scammed for life. That's the real scam, okay? You got scammed for life into the E-Fintech School.
No lah, there's no such thing as scam for life. Really glad to hear that, the pitch wasn't just an exercise. And it is important for us on the founding advisory board to also hear that, because we came up with all these ideas and practices from the first cohort, and we try to fine tune it more and more as every cohort comes along. And we are not in it for the profit, obviously, because nobody's getting paid. Whatever we get from sponsorship is just to cover costs for the infrastructure and all those things. And we really wanted to help make an impact on the fintech community beyond the existing community, also growing its influence and its numbers in terms of how the fintech community would engage with the rest of the world, because there is a lot of things that's happening that will bring about huge benefit. I would like to hear from Yunzu. Yunzu is in our first cohort. So pitches was also happening during our first cohort, and I like to hear.
Okay, you talk about pitching, right? Pitching the graduation pitching, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
How was it?
I must say, this is my first time experience of doing pitching. Okay. In fact, I'm not the one who did it at the presentation stage, but I think the whole process, I think the whole process was such a how to say, it's a valuable experience to me, at least personally. Okay. Yeah, I think teamwork is important. I still remember when we brainstorm together on how to come up with the theme of the team, and what are the services, what are the service that we would like to present, to the panel. I think that that sort of teamwork is very exciting, in the sense that we really brainstorm, and then I think we keep on changing. I still remember, I think we changed until the very last minute, then only we settle with one idea. And I think credit must be given to the younger team member of mine. Okay, frankly, they really did all the actual preparation of the presentation and all that, and they came up with a very fantastic diagram or logo, whatever. Okay, I think I think I remember. I think our that our page is centered on the theme of a pawn hero. It's not mistaken. Pawn broker. Okay, pawn broker, pawn shop. Traditional pawn shop. We try to make it digital. Okay, I think this is something very interesting, and if not mistaken, I think we cringe second run up or whatever place, at that graduation things. It's very. I think I this experience that I won't forget. It served us well. I believe in future in our work. In fact, I think we one way or another we are doing pitching every day. Okay, that's sort of a process that we go into it, and the technique that we learn, observation, technique, is something that really valuable.
Fantastic. Thank you, Andrew. Me, what about your team? How was the pitch? Running up to it, the stress or not?
Well, the process can be close to describe chaotic. I think we had actually our team, but it's organized chaos. I think our team has a weekly meeting. As we form up the team ready, then we do have a weekly meeting. But I think 3 days prior to the submission itself, actually our pitch was actually nowhere near ready, if I remember correctly. That was when we started really to panic. Yeah, and that was when we meet almost every day. And I remember reaching out to Fang, one of our E-Fintech School moderator, to help us to prepare for the dry run. So there are support people reach out for the next cohort participants. Do reach out to the people. They are very supportive. But we only managed to schedule the dry run, I think, on the morning of the submission itself. So that during the dry run, it was, how do I put it? I guess Fang basically has a sniper, all the things to cover, right, to change. With what is remaining hours left, we make the changes and say, okay, guys, we are submitting this. And but we do have a very teamwork definitely makes a lot of difference. Our team basically had a very organized, when I say organized chaos, it was intensive, but we split our roles very well. So we had divided 3 people to talk, to speak on different parts of the entire 5 minutes. There is certain Q&As that the 3 of us who were practicing the pitch may not be able to think of and cover. We have the remaining members who are not practicing to cover that part. And such during the Q&A, we do have backups as well. So I think it was more assured to have such a strong team. Hence, the best team I've ever joined, I would say.
I agree.
Yeah.
I was the kindest judge, right? That's right.
Yes, of course. But actually, I would have to say, for the judges from the FinTech school, they really give very targeted feedback as well. So for those of you who really wanted to take your ideas to the next level, like Adila and Poon, as well as Aida with her Sehat, right? Actually, this whole school structure and the insights that the judges provides, I think, give a very good improvement for your next level for the real thing. Yeah.
Thank you. Valerie.
For me, I think our group has a very different perspective to it. So I joined the group because we were going to hack about digital banking. There was something happening. And then we actually talk, debate most of the time, trying to find out what's the problem area, problem solution we want to base it on and all that. And then we had one session with Wenzu, I think was one of the advisors, and also with Jenna, and our idea got busted already. So in the end, no more digital banking. So we have to scramble and get another ongoing project that we have. So luckily, one of our members was working on another project that was fintech related. So we use that idea and then make some changes to it, and then we just go ahead with the pitching. And thankfully, we have a good pitcher. We rely on one person. He was a good pitcher. He always do hackathons, so that's very good. And then he made farming to almost fall off his chair when he was doing the pitching per se and all that. So we really had fun and all that. In fact, I still have my background of the pitching that we had. So it was the Magnificent Servant. You can see this, yeah. So that was my background that we did for the pitching per se. So we really had fun. Each of us bring our ideas to it, and we learn from each other. Yeah, we really have to pivot fast. It's like a hackathon and a startup. It doesn't work, you have to change and go on with it and all that. But it was enjoyable. And I think it's amazing that we don't know each other, but we have to come together fast and really work fast together. And even how difference in terms of ages and the diverse of background experience that we have, we're actually able to pull through because everybody has one same goal to be on time and on target to the pitching.
Awesome. Pivot got shot down before even presentation. That's why I never remembered a digital bank presentation.
Yeah, there was never.
Ida.
Yes, Jasmine. How can I help you?
On the pitch to share.
The pitch. We had I think we had a really fun time doing the pitch. We did a blockchain, a health tokenization of data deployed on the blockchain, and it was very interesting for me because everyone in my cohort don't really know blockchain well, and then here I am introducing blockchain, and then I introduced to them tokenization. And then I introduced to them the concept of democratizing the health user data and bringing the ownership back to the patient. So it's everything that they have learned is a sort of like being ripped apart, okay, and then turn on its heels. And I have to teach them that, and I had to do that in 5 days or so, like that. That alone talk about the pitch itself. But it was good because, again, everyone on board wanted to learn. They were curious about it. What is this blockchain? What is this health data? What do you mean by, I'm the patient and I can actually own my data? How is that possible? Blockchain can do it. They just wanted to learn about it. So, and we did it. We put it all together. We did the pitch, and it was chaotic. I would not even use the word adjective organized. It was chaos, but we pulled it out. And where we are now is that we've got a lot of interest. We didn't win the pitch. That's for clarity's sake, okay? All right. We didn't win the pitch, but we got a lot of interest, independent interest internally from people who were in the team and involved in the E-Fintech School. And so we decided to push it forward. So we then took the idea, sat down, redo it, rejig it, do it proper. And we just last 4 days ago, is it 4 days ago? We did a pitch and we presented this concept to the Australian National Blockchain Conference in front of collaborators, partners, and some VCs as well. And I'm happy to report that we've got 3 MOU signed. We've got more people who's actually coming forward. We've got Austrade interested in us, and we're going ahead. We're going ahead. So this is one of the good things that actually come out from this E-Fintech School. It's never thought it was going to happen. Just rolled with it, and we did it. So there's more to come.
Wonderful. So pushing from pitching in fintech school into a real life startup, and you know, startup pitching and startup life is synonymous. You don't have one without the other. If you're a startup, you're pitching all the time because you're getting funders and all that. Last but not least, Habib, we'd like to hear about your experience during the pitch. Was it exceptionally fun, difficult, something that you don't want to ever do for the rest of your life again?
To me, honestly, pitching was the first time. It was the first time in a E-Fintech school that I have participated here. But my team member, I say I'm lucky that I was in that team. Then my team member is very good, especially the Samuel, Bijoy, Ping Ping. I can name everyone, Misaki, Dewitt, everyone have a good job. So they put together all the idea all together. And after that, we go through it. We also sit together with the mentor and we check with the mentor that how it goes and in the real life, it will executable or not. So I think that piece is a great idea, and it also help us to move forward to start up new things. So it is great idea, I think. And from the pitch, I have learned a lot. I have seen how the team member come together on time, because after the class we have a around 10 to 20 minutes we discussion on the pitch, how gonna we do that. And I have remembered that before the final round that we have a dry run 4 or 5 times, I think more than 5 times. Every day we have a dry run, and Samuel show the things that every time we have a timer also that 5 minutes we have to complete everything. So how gonna we do that? Actually, it's like we are doing in real life when we doing the pitching in front of the investor or something like that. So every time we enjoy it, everyone enjoy it, and everyone have showing their commitment that how gonna everyone come together and what finally we do it. And it was a great experience for me that I have learned many things from that pitch. So I think it will help in the future me also, and in my team member also, that how gonna we do such things actually. Thanks to you. Over to you, this way.
Thank you, Habib. I mean, that is fantastic. You guys had 3 to 4 dry runs. Aida is like shocked. Oh, 3 to 4 dry runs? How is that possible?
I think more than that. Samuel is here. He can say that every time we every day after the class, we say 5 minutes, we will dry run. Then let's see how gonna finish within the 5 minutes. So we have a I have remembered the 5 or 6 slide. So we have to define that in one slide. How gonna we say? We also alert the Samuel, you have to finish it. And after that, he try again and again, and finally it will good presentation. I think it's a good pitch. Yes. You know, we win the two things. So far I remember. That's how we can do that. Samuel is here.
Yes, he is. No, but this is one of the experiences as a venture capitalist, a little stint I did myself. Whenever we have pitch events, we are very strict with time. And one of the reasons why we're strict is maybe you know that you know this so well, that you are living, breathing it, that you know you can present it as long or as short. You want it short and summarize, and that's why we put in a 5-minute time frame, right? Okay, I would like to hear your closing thoughts with regards to what would you like to see slightly different from the existing E-Fintech school structure, if there is any? If you feel that it's fine, I also can accept that. And what are your parting thoughts with regards to the role of that you would want to play in the E-Fintech School community? Because the community is growing, and the community at the end of the day is each of you, the individual. It's not so much the school per se. The school brings people together, creates a safe space with regards to the rules that we have governing some of the higher level things. But the community is you. You guys make the community. It's vibrant, it's amazing, it's awesome, because it's filled with vibrant, awesome, amazing people like you. So I would like to hear your thoughts with regards to what else do you think we could add on? 1, 2. What would you say to the people on joining the next cohort? Yeah. So closing thoughts now, guys. We'll start with Mei, since you're smiling so much, and there are obviously jokes at the back that nobody.
No, I was smiling at the chat. A very open chat. No, yeah, but I think for something different, I don't really have a thought yet, because I think as it is 1 month, it's already quite intensive. There was quite a lot going on. So I'm not sure if adding more will necessarily be better. I'm actually a practitioner of minimalist, so I wouldn't recommend more. But in terms of parting thoughts to the participant, I would say, I think it's good to know what you want to get out of the any training, like having a very strict goal in mind. Be flexible also about how your goal might change. I joined because I want to know more about InsurTech. But actually, I guess outside of that, I gained so much more. I gained the network, I gained the community. I learned a lot about how entrepreneurship is as well. So be flexible about that. And in terms of the roles I would like to play, I am one of the non-tech, non-finance person. So I would like to be, I guess, showing support to the people as well who want to join the fintech community without any background, to also be less fearful about it. Once the conversations get rolling and you take actions about it, the fear gets lesser. Yep.
Fantastic. Yuanzu.
Yeah, I agree with me in the sense that I think current format as it is, I think it's already too overwhelming. I believe the content already too overwhelming for people like us, especially we are we have work to do. Okay, we are not full-time students. Okay, it's too overwhelming. It's too rich for us to really to digest already. I believe it's just that we just keep updated, updating the content and make it more interesting. That's enough. I think for sure, I would like to see that if they should continue to maintain its special features, meaning making fintech knowledge accessible, affordable, and value for money. I think these are the 3 key things that really that I got it out from this school. Okay. I think also a few words to those I encourage you all to jump into this E-Fintech school. I think it's value for money, and you won't regret after that. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuanzu. Valerie.
Oh, okay. For me, I'm going to be a bit opposite. I would have said do a bit more courses. Why? Because I felt the fintech, there's so much diversity and so much things to learn. It could be a bit slightly longer, more topics that's optional per se for those people who want to deep dive, let's say maybe a crypto, blockchain or so on. Because there are some topics you can't just learn just a bit, I think can deep dive even deeper per se. Even payments itself also have a lot of parts to it, that. So I think that would be good to have a deep dive in some of them. In fact, also on that Saturday, even morning class, I'm not a Saturday person. I still can wake up early to go for the optional Saturday classes, which I find very rare in myself already. So that's that interest in me. And also, I think if you have that interest ongoing in you, do come on board and join and be part of the school, then you can learn a lot. And I think you see how our cohort and also the first cohort come together. So this community is very robust and it's keep growing and growing. So I think you join a very good community. With some community, they meet and then it's very update and all that after that. But this is so robust per se, and it's regional. It's not just in Singapore, Malaysia per se, but there's region and more room to grow as this school get more exposure and more experience, people coming on board, then they can spread the word and get all beyond the countries. Yeah, so that's what, because Asia region is going to be very hot times to come. And I think that's one part I want to play with, building a community and building in terms of the networks, the career that we can, and sharing, and also possibly opportunities for hackathon, ventures, and so on. So that is the thing that each of us can play and build together as a community.
Fantastic. Thanks, Valerie. Habib, what do you think? Should we change? One says more, one says less. I say let's do specialist tracks. So Valerie thinks that. What do you think?
I partially agree with the Valerie. I think that it's a good platform that we have created for the E-Fintech community, because the E-Fintech is very broad area. So, however, the more people coming together and the more collaboration, that I think we grow everybody all together. So we need more collaboration between ourselves, and we keep look forwarding that how can we move forward, and bring new idea and share with us. Everybody share with, together. So I think that is that we can benefit from this E-Fintech school. And I also see that the newcomers will come and join this community, and they also share their views. And I think that the learning never ends. It's the lifelong learning things, and that whenever you are in the community, you learn every day. Because I am learning every day. I can learn new things. So more people come, more collaboration. I think that more we learn.
Definitely, totally agree. Yes. John.
In the future, I think I've talked to Jenna about this. Maybe in the future, the next couple of years or so, once this pandemic is over, probably have a face-to-face version of this E-Fintech school. I think I've mentioned this to Jenna before. We can go like in Malaysia first, Singapore next, Philippines next, all over Asia and, outside of Asia. I think that's going to be an awesome event. In terms of, what was the other question,
And we'll throw in a food tour for that.
Yes, yeah. As an ambassador for Fort Ninja, I think I've already mentioned as well to Jenna that, I would love to help in terms of, encouraging people to join the next E-Fintech schools, the next cohorts. I think I can do a lot in terms of, the marketing and the promotion and all that. For the audience that we have right now, I really encourage everyone to join. It's going to be an amazing, awesome experience. I promise. I swear you're going to enjoy it totally. And I guess one thing that I wanted to share that I learned was the pitch. The pitch, because I'm a corporate guy, so I'm so used to presentations. I do a PowerPoint presentation on figures, cost, revenue, and all that, KPIs. But with the pitch, with myself and May, with Fin Crew, one thing I learned was it was a different dynamic. It's about selling an idea, because we had I think our topic was gamification and robo advisory. So I wasn't familiar with those topics, but with the help of my team, we were able to push through and get that top team award. So yeah, it's a fun experience, guys. So please join us.
Good. Thanks, John. Fantastic. Poon, apart from eating, what else was fun?
I'll keep myself to 30 seconds. Allocate my time for Ida. The course itself, for me, who is non-fintech background, even though I was involved in fintech for 2 years, I would say it's a good overview, and then we can so-called learn from the community and work within the community area of specialization we want to move into after the school. So because 1 month itself is very taxing, and it's a good, like I said, it's a good overview for those who are non coming from a non-financial background, right? With regards to parting words, just join. There's nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And the best part is you gain the community, you gain friendship, you gain, because that will bring you to the next level with regards to anything that you do, whether is it related to fintech or not. Basically, there will be more pluses than the time that you put in to learn during that so-called intensive 1 month.
Thanks, Poon. Poon is our resident cohort 2 foodie. Yuanzu is the cohort 1 foodie. We just need to make sure that we qualify a cohort 3 foodie. Adila.
I think the class is perfect as it is. Though I do agree with specialist track. I think, even for people who graduated from cohort 1, cohort 2, we would love having more classes, and like learning more from more instructors or fellow alumni who might want to share their experience. I think one thing that I would like to see as well, more focus on, is on the consumer of fintech itself. So we could, talk about customer experience. Valerie can talk about digital marketing, for example, cases I think that are that are in the market right now. That would be really interesting. As for parting thoughts, I'm just going to repeat what everybody has said. Join us, join the cult. It would be really, really fun. As Poon said, like nothing to lose and everything to gain. So I would recommend this experience to anyone.
Thank you. Ida, okay, you have all of 20 minutes max. Cannot go
I don't need
beyond
20 minutes max. Okay, I was just joking. What I would like things to change or to be added to make it a little bit more variety of it is as a person who is so embedded into fintech, generally technology and blockchain, I can tell you things move literally in the span of 3 to 4 months. What we talked about 3 to 4 months before has actually evolved. So for example, at that time when we had the fintech school, we were talking about payments, settlements, cross borders, remittance. We're talking about all these things. We did talk about tokens, and then when that finishes, literally about a couple of weeks later, NFT tokens came out, and it was completely something different. Specs came out, and now you have corporatization of DAOs. All these things is always moving, and it's moving really, really, really fast in this space. So I would like, in terms of the going forward for the school, as I suggested, is that for people to actually, the participants to have a really good view in terms of a compare and contrast how traditional financing executes something, and then you bring it into the new fintech, the new technology, utilizing blockchain or whatever technology platform, be it federated learning, AI, or even zero knowledge proof, all these things, how they use all these things to make something, a feature which is prominent in the traditional financing, and make it more efficient, make it smarter, make it cheaper, sometimes completely free, and then open it up to everyone. And I think that the participants would love to actually see it as a very good compare and contrast. And that's what I would like to see. I'm completely in agreement about people having a face-to-face, because we do Zoom a lot, but it's nice to actually be in the flesh, let's put it this way, and see how tall Jasmine is, because she has been reputed to be extremely tall, and for her to look down on me because I am extremely short. So
When did I say that? I protest. Not true. Lies. The only thing I ever say is I wear heels, and the reason why I wear heels is because I'm short.
wait till you see me, okay? All right. So I think it's great. I think it'd be great if we can do something like that. Even have a purpose of doing that. Could be an alumni gathering, and it could be also be doing it as a form of a specialist training and bring all the cohort together on a regional basis. One day touching into depth a particular topic or what the things have been changing. Within our cohort, in our WhatsApp group, we have actually proceeded to organize within ourselves continuing talks, okay, which is being led by our cohorts themselves who are skilled in this area. And I think it would be great if we expand that too into inclusive for all cohorts to raise awareness.
Oh, Ida, your internet is stuck.
That's why you need face-to-face.
I think her internet is protesting her lengthy feedback. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. But let me, while Ida is trying to come back in, it's funny to see her, frozen like that. So cute. See, so she's got to come back in. But let me just say, as one of the founding advisory board member, together with, that time it was just the four of us, together with Fang, of course, Jenna, myself, Paul, and Danny. And we had all these things, and we are so encouraged and inspired that it has literally taken on. And we started this thing with absolutely no expectation except the desire, like I said, to build a fintech community that will grow on itself and support each other, to a large extent a safe space as well, for people to explore, for people to learn, and there are no silly questions. The only thing we fear is there are no questions. Because when you don't ask, then we don't know if you're learning or anything like that. So I'm really, really encouraged. I was just saying that your internet is protesting your feedback lah.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on, but I take it as a cue from the powers that be. I should just cease talking. And,
no. Finish your feedback, please. We would want to hear it.
Sorry, Ida, you don't go off so easily, okay?
I guess it's pretty well. That's pretty much, and yeah, going forward is just having to meet people when the borders open. Be great to meet all of you, and it, yeah, to me personally, I think it would be great to meet all of you, to actually sit down and have a makan session with you all, to go bike riding and all those things that we have been talking about in our WhatsApp, to put poetry in life, let's put it that way, in reality. So let's open to questions to everyone who wants to have any questions.
Brian has a question. Hi, Brian. Would you like to type the question out, or would you just like to
Hi, I'm Brian. I think I'll just stick it because like mine's I think I can concise it better in words. So yeah, hi everyone, I'm Brian. Like Ida, I'm also located in Adelaide. I'm actually one of Ida's interns, one of the minions Ida created out. I'm Malaysian and I've been studying in Adelaide for like the past 4.5 years. So I'm studying finance and law, and my question is directed to anyone on the panel as well as attendees, and I would just like to have some input on what the current state of cryptocurrencies are and what do you guys think the future holds for crypto, because I heard that you guys mentioned a lot about cryptos, and I think Ida mentioned like oh, she got someone to invest in crypto, and I'm still on the sidelines of whether I should put my money into crypto or not. So I'm of the view that we're actually currently in a crypto bubble, and like any bubble, right, it is just a matter of time of when it will pop. And you take a look at the dot-com bubble in 2000, right? And any company basically with a dot-com like Yahoo had a PE ratio of like 200, which is crazy. And when you take a look at the 2008 real estate bubble, right, which led to the great GFC, right, big investment banks were involved in loans like the Lehman Brothers themselves went bankrupt. So why I cite all these past bubbles is because I came by a quote by George Santayana, which says that if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. So my question basically is, right, what are your thoughts on a crypto bubble? And crypto are starting to look alike like the dot-com bubble and real estate bubble, where everyone thinks they can make a quick buck investing in cryptos. And like, I know for a fact, like some entrepreneurs or like in fintech, right, you guys have your company's value tied to crypto. And how do you guys protect your businesses from this, from a potential bubble burst, or even like, how do you guys protect your businesses from the downside volatility of crypto? Because like a very recent example, right, is where Bitcoin and the other altcoins, right, it dropped by 10% within 24 hours because of a power cut in Xinjiang. And Xinjiang represents a quarter of the global hash rate. So like, how do you guys like protect your company or hedge your company against like this volatility or a potential crypto bubble?
Ida, would you like to take this? Or because between you and me, I think we are the only two blockchain people in this group. A show of hands as to who else would like to also chime in on the blockchain conversation. Cool, Samuel, you can unmute yourself and even put yourself on video if you're dressed. Okay, let it rip. Ida start, Samuel and then Poon.
Hi, Brian. With regard to, in terms of the question of the crypto bubble, I think the aspect of it is slightly different. Okay, crypto is very wide. The assets is really, really huge. So you have different types of assets here. So, and different types of assets, in each of them has a character and a feature and a use of their own. So, which is different from the stock market and all those exchanges where you have the bubble burst and, in that aspect. So, for example, like Bitcoin, it has a very strong, what is deemed as a store value, that people has beginning to recognize that, okay? In terms of the altcoins that is coming out, which is also a digital asset, is a cryptocurrency to the extent it is being accepted and widely used even on traditional finance bankings, okay, as a payment tokens to facilitate payments going from one border to another border. So things have changed in that sense. You have to take a step out and actually appraise things in a contextual basis and not just lump it all in and look at it as whether it is going to burst or not burst. So that is my take, okay? How do we hedge our risk? Okay, I run a startup, as you know, you were involved in it as well, helping me. And how do we hedge our risk? More or less like pretty much all other companies, how they hedge their risk. We diversify. So coming back to the crypto assets, as I said, each and every one of the crypto assets has a feature on its own, a use of its own. Some of them are payments, some of them are lending, some of them are derivatives, and etc. So you diversify it. And increasingly now, real world assets is now been coming in where they are being used to be pegged as a stable value to a crypto. So that is another way we hedge our risk as well. So the quick and short answer is that the fundamentals is still the same, like in any financing. You do not put all your eggs in one basket. You do diversify it. You do benchmark your risk. You do pull out when it gets too risky, and you do come in when opportunity is there. It is a numbers game. It is still the same thing that applies to all, regardless whether it is crypto, fintech or traditional finance? Hope that answers.
Thank you.
Poon and Sam. Poon, you're unmuted.
Yeah, okay. Basically, I just bought my first coin last week. Even though I'm in the fintech for 2 years, right? To answer a very long, a complicated question with a simple thing is, you look at the traditional financial world, and do you think that the digital world, is there any value to it? If you find that there is going to be value in the digital world, then the crypto bubble, it will burst, but it will come back again. It's the same like the internet. You have the .coms, the boom and the bust, and it will boom again. So it all comes back to, what is your opinion of this thing called the blockchain, the digital side of the financial world, DeFi and the rest, all right? If you see that there is future, then fine, go in and do your own research and basically see what comfort level you are able to, so either you want to invest in or whatever. At the end of the day, it goes back to what Ida was saying, value. What value do you bring? Let's say if you talk about your company or whatever, what value do you bring to the table, to the people that is interested in your company? Whether it's crypto or whether it's virtual or the real world, if you yourself believe there's value that you bring to any economic transaction, etc., the value will still be there, irregardless of whether, like I say, whether it's the digital or the actual, all right? So remember that, always believe in, go back to basics and ask, what value do you bring? All right.
Thanks, Poon. Sam?
Yep.
Samuel?
Yes, hi. Thank you for giving me some airtime. Just quick contrast. Global financial crisis 2008 was caused by centralized entities, Pastner, Lehman Brothers, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. So it's a cascade. It cascaded because they're all caused by centralized entities because of greed. And in cryptocurrencies as a whole is decentralized. There's no one, of course, there could be crypto whales, Bitcoin whales, Ethereum whales, but because it's so decentralized, it is very hard even for one whale or even two whales or a few whales to crash the whole system. They can cause the price to go down by 20% as it happened over the last week. But what makes it different from 2017 during the crypto winter is that today cryptocurrencies is no longer a mass retail market play. We've been getting news since the last 6 months or more how the mainstream institutions have come over on board onto cryptocurrencies, and there have been many converts. The latest one being JP Morgan, who just about 6 months ago, I think, or a few years ago, outright condemned Bitcoin and say that the CEO said that he will fire anybody who got involved. But today they are launching and providing sort of Bitcoin investments, cryptocurrency investments to their own private clients. So there's a major shift in there. So in terms of history repeating itself, I'll say that there's no history to this because DLT, blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies is something that's so new. And whatever history that happened, say 2017, is not going to be a very good comparison. As I mentioned earlier on, it was then very mass retail. Today, the big money is coming in. So there's a major shift. Of course, there will always be some black sheeps. Say, for example, if we are talking about currencies like Dogecoin, which has no fundamental, which has no store value, simply because Elon Musk tweeted about it, and somebody became a millionaire from $6 to $1 million because of Dogecoin, that potentially could become a bubble because it's just pure greed. But in terms of Ethereum, Bitcoin, or even some other currencies, that has major use cases because, say, for example, Binance Coin, it has such a massive ecosystem. With such a massive ecosystem, think about it. If today, if any one of us with huge money, we go into Cambodia, we build an eco-city. I mean, a city. In that city, we build an ecosystem with self-supporting infrastructure, F&B, and everything else. We have our own coin. it's not going to fall apart that easily. So I'm just trying to use I'm just trying to use a very layman example to explain that. Of course, the caveat is that I'm very positive and very bullish about the entire blockchain tech and also cryptocurrencies. Things could always happen the other way around. But as it is, I think it is not going to be a repeat of 2017. Right, that's it.
Thank you, Samuel. So Brian, just some parting thoughts. I like what you think that those who don't know history is doomed to repeat it. And you spoke about the dot-com burst. Well, after the dot-com burst, today, if you look at where dot-com was prior to the 90s and what it is today, you would say that that pie has grown. The burst was a correction that led to proper consolidation and then further growth. And that is exactly the same thing with the blockchain revolution. I won't even call it Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one use case out of the entire blockchain technology. And if you are in the technology front, you will know that there are a lot of use cases that are popping up in many different countries, in totally different corners of the earth, being used for very, very different things. And the main thing about the blockchain tech is it disintermediates the middleman. A lot of our today's industry is built on the middleman. So we have a middleman economy. Blockchain will bring this economy into a literal, truly peer-to-peer economy. And that is where the change of pillars, economic pillars, are going to happen. Now, in terms of the correction and the concern about whales, I agree. The whales had an impact in the earlier days of Bitcoin. But since the last correction in 2018, and more institutional players come into the fore with greater use cases and a more concerted call to look at fundamentals of coins, that is going to go away very soon. The industry is stabilizing as a whole, but there are new vectors coming out in terms of different use cases of the blockchain being put up for coin issuance, tokenization, and the tokenomics behind that whole thing brings on a whole new different set of dynamics. So long and short of it is, they are fun times. It's a new frontier to a large extent, but certain principles remain the same. You need to create value. Value does not necessarily have to look like profits, where it has to show up and manifest in a P&L. It doesn't, but value is tangible. Whether it is physical is something else, but it's definitely tangible. So you need to think along the lines of value, as what Poon had said. So on that note, I am going to call this session to a close unless there are more questions. If there are more questions, please post them online now. Brian, I hope that sort of helps you get some handle on making sense of this cryptocurrency revolution as well as blockchain.
And Brian, you got to sign up, okay? Or else don't come and see me, okay?
Otherwise, she's gonna send a minion after you. I don't know what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, thank you so much. Because I tend to ask this question to every person that I meet on fintech because I'm still on the sidelines with crypto. So I just thought I just ask it because since there's so many fintech people right here, might as well. But thank you so much for your answers.
Brian,
Staying on the sideline of crypto is fine, but do join the blockchain revolution.
Yes, and FinTech School.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, to my panelists, it has been awesome and fun. Poon, Bojo lunch. All those in KL can join it. Of course, sorry for those who are fasting, but Bojo, but never mind.
Can.
It has been awesome having each and every one of you on the panel. Thank you for making the E-Fintech School what it is today, from cohort 1 to cohort 2, and we are looking forward to cohort 3. These are the faces of your ambassadors for the next cohort. They are fun people, and they will make your life a lot of fun. and they may expand your waistline too. Okay, Jenna says we're all going to take a picture. Thank you, everybody. Now, everybody, please turn on your camera so that we can take a photo. And is that what you want, Jenna? Maybe you can unmute yourself here.
And thank Jasmine for moderating us tonight.
Most welcome. Is that Siwin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can take the picture. Is everyone ready?
Not yet.
That's for panelists only, right?
I mean, everyone is free to turn on their cameras.
Yes, please do.
Okay, I think I can take one now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, hang on. I need to go to page 2. Big smiles. 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, that's it. Thank you all.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
It's
you.
been fun.
Thank you. Right.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you in the school.
You,
Yes.
bye-bye.